We'll start with Happy Local. Been running a small digital agency in Australia for a while and looking for ecom brands to offer SEO for. Thinking of making some pages for the USA. How would you, I guess, go about this for GMB and citations? Anyway, I can hide a number and just have a booking link. I will be based in Australia, so I won't have a physical US presence. Okay, so good luck trying, and I'm not saying this to be a smart ass, good luck trying to secure Google business locations if you don't have an actual physical business in the United States. It's very difficult to verify Google business listings right now because in the US, almost all industries or many industries have gone to video verification, which Google requires video verification of your place of business. And so it's almost completely killed the ability to generate lead generation assets or Google business assets that aren't associated or tied to a real physical location where a real business resides. Okay. It's damn near impossible. Interestingly enough, one of my oldest tree service lead generation brand that I created, I just had in the last 2 days, I had 4 of those locations suspended, and some of these locations were 8 years old, and I didn't do a damn thing to them, but I had 4 of them suspended, and it just sucks because these are some of my oldest, most authoritative Google business assets that I've had for, like I said, a couple of between 6 and 8 years. The 4 that got suspended were between 6 and 8 years old, and there's nothing I can do about it. I just, they're gone, they're done. The only thing I can do about it is continue the organic stuff and then perhaps work some paid traffic stuff into it. So, you know, in the past, if something got suspended, I'd be like, okay, that sucks. I'm going to lose, a couple of months worth of work, but I can go verify a new one in the same area. And I can get it up and, ranked in a couple of months and it'll start generating leads again. And unfortunately, like as I started, I don't know why they were suspended. And my assumption is that a competitor reported them or whatever. And my point is, I just had to recognize and swallow it and realize, like, they're gone. It's likely I'm never going to be able to get those back because, or even verify new ones in the same areas because of the video verification issue. So I'm not saying this to be a buzzkill. I'm saying this because it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to verify Google business assets. That said, if you figure out a way to be able to verify assets in the US without video verification or to circumvent video verification, which I know there are some industries that aren't requiring that yet. And there are some certain circumstances where you can still verify a Google business listing without the video requirement. I'm not exactly sure what those circumstances are, but if you are able to figure it out and figure out a way to verify Google business listings, what I recommend is just using a virtual phone number, a US-based virtual phone number that can forward the calls to whatever phone number you want, because you're going to have to publish a phone number for a local listing. Okay. So I would recommend that you have whatever sort of, you can do it with Twilio, you can use CallRail. There's a number of them out there. Just pick a virtual phone service and then you can forward that to your Australian phone number. Okay. If that makes sense. So anyways, how would you go GMB and citations? Yeah. If you don't, again, once you have a Google business listing, that's part of the reason why it's dangerous to publish a street address for a lead gen asset, because somebody can verify very quickly whether or not like that's a real valid location. So like that's why UPS stores and things like that have always been dangerous for verifying Google business profiles, which doesn't really work much anymore now anyways. But because if somebody were to go, like a Google review or somebody who worked for Google was good to go to Google Maps and search for the address that they found associated with the Google profile, and it shows up at a UPS store, right, or virtual mailbox, then they could very easily just suspend it for a violation of terms of service. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened to 4 of my oldest lead gen assets over the last 3 days. Anyway, kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I'm surprised that this didn't happen sooner, to be honest with you. Like I said, I've had some of those assets for as much as 8 years, and they've been producing for 8 years, and I just lost them in the last couple of days, and that's very disheartening. But just so you guys know, in the mastermind, as soon as I get this last SOP done for the video email stuff, I've been working on the side on developing some methods for lead generation that aren't required to have a Google business location to still be effective. And I've got some really, really good results coming in. I'm certainly not going to talk about them here yet, but in the coming weeks, I'm going to be talking more about those in the mastermind. And eventually I will have kind of a whole SOP, standard operating procedure, developed around that plan. That's actually what I'm planning on doing for POFU Live this year, is having all of that, the method that I've been working on, which does not require Google business for lead gen. That's what I'm going to be talking about and revealing at the POFU Live event this year. So that's a good pitch for you guys to come join POFU Live this year. Okay.